like the door never opened. Then Rasulullah ﷺ walks out of his house and gets closer to them, and one by one he takes a little dust and sprinkle it on their heads. One by one takes dust and sprinkle it on their own heads to mark them as a sign that this actually happened. There's no magic in it. That he himself came and put dust on their own heads one by one, and then he leaves quietly, peacefully and safely with the plot and the plan and the miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala against the plot and the plan and the evil of Abu Jahl. Then while they were still sitting there and waiting, and one of them came later to see them, and they said, "What are you doing here?" They said, "We're waiting on Muhammad to come out." He said, "What is this dust doing on your heads?" Wallahi laqad kharaj. Wallahi, he left the house and he put some soil, some dirt on all of your heads. He said, "There is no way. He's here. We didn't see anybody. There are 40 of us." He said, "Well, look." They look there and they see the person sleeping and the garment of Rasulullah. I said, "See that? He's there. He's still there. There's nobody left. I mean, we were here around him." Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was leaving and going towards the house of Abu Bakr. These people were still debating what to do, and that person is telling, "Well, who then put the dust on their heads?" And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is walking away. Then they decide to just go into the house. They break the door, they walk in, lift the cover, and Ali ibn Abi Talib is there, and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has already left, and the plot of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was successful. They asked Ali, Karram Allahu wajha, where is Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? He said, "I don't know." And surely he didn't know. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was so secretive, so well planned, that he would tell each person what their part in this is, but doesn't tell everybody what to do with the entire plan. So after that, goes to the house of Abu Bakr, and he enters the house of Abu Bakr, and they leave from a back door, and they head south. They head south of Mecca. Where is Medina? Where is Yathrib? Yathrib is north. They head in exactly the opposite direction where they should be going. They go on 5 miles south to a mountain. It's called Mountain of Thawr, and in that mountain there is a cave called the Cave of Thawr. And that was on the 27th night of the month of Safar, on the 14th year after Ba'tha, which is either the 12th or the 13th of September in the year 622 after Christ, may Allah be pleased with him. So they went down 5 miles to that Mount of Thawr. The Mount of Thawr is a high mount, and it's hard to climb. And they would started walking towards the cave in that mountain. Abu Bakr was walking sometime behind Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Then the next hour he would go in and walk in front of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Then he would walk behind Rasulullah, and then he would walk in front of Rasulullah. He was very anxious. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is walking very steady, very calm, very peacefully. He asked Abu Bakr, "What are you doing here?" Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, "I remember those who are chasing us, and I want to be the first to see them, first to face them." He wants to, and I will start walking behind you. Then I remember those who may be waiting for us. Then I start walking in front of you. He wanted to protect them, and he didn't know which way he should receive those who are trying to get Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was trying to assure him and comfort him. He's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with them. And then they came to the ghar, they came to the cave. And Abu Bakr said, "Wallahi la tadkhulhu hatta adkhulhu qablak." Then you don't enter, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, until I go into the cave before you. فَإِنْ كَانَ فِيهِ شَيْءٍ أَصَابَنِي دُونَكَ. If something in the cave, like an animal or a snake or something, then I want to clean it. I want to make sure that everything was safe for you, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. See this love between Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and his companion. See how much his companion and his Abu Bakr, how he loved Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So he came into the cave and he started cleaning everything, and he found 4 holes. And he started putting one hand in one hole, the other hand in one hole, and then he put one foot in the other one, and the other foot, and then he was bitten by either a bug or a snake. It doesn't say that he was bitten. And he didn't say anything. And then he came and sat down and asked Rasulullah ﷺ to rest on his leg. And Rasulullah ﷺ resting on his leg. Abu Bakr was in pain with this bite. It was a snake or something. And then his tears started falling. And Rasulullah ﷺ asked him, what's the matter, Abu Bakr? And he said, well, my foot is bitten by this whatever. And then Rasulullah ﷺ took his foot and he wipes it, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cures it completely from that pain. This is narrated in Mishkat al-Masabih. This is not a hadith in one of the Sahih, so just be aware of that. In that cave, they stayed for 3 nights. The night of Saturday, and the night of Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Abdullah ibn Abi Bakr, the son of Abu Bakr, he used to bring him some food and sustenance. He would spend the night, and before dawn he would go back to Mecca. So the people of Mecca are not aware that Abdul Rahman is actually spending the night or going at night to see his father and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then in Mecca he would gather the news, he would gather all the information. He was like working like the first intelligence agency of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He would gather intelligence and go back and tell them what is going on in Mecca. And then the other part of the plan was the shepherd Amir ibn Fuhayra. He used to follow the tracks of Rasulullah and Abu Bakr with his sheep. So the footsteps, the traces of Rasulullah and Abu Bakr would be all masked by the sheep. So nobody would know. They would think that some sheep just passed through there and not Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. See the well planning. We know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is protecting them. They knew Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is protecting them, but they had plan. They had work. They also plotted everything and did it right. So this is also a lesson in us. Even when we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the protector and nothing will happen to us unless Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordained it to happen, but we have to take our caution. We have to plan things. And even Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam planned this very, very closely. Ali in Mecca was jailed and beaten until they tried to make him confess and say something. So they would know it Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And after they beat him, they couldn't get anything out of him, and then they'll let him go. Abu Jahl went to the house of Abu Bakr, opened the door and found his other daughter Asma. And he asked her where her father was. And she said, Wallahi la adri, I don't know. She really did not know. All she knew that Rasulullah came and took her father, and her father went with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So Abu Jahl, this criminal, he hit her on her face, and her earrings fall off of her ear as hard as he hit her. He's not even ashamed to hit a woman. And then he declared a reward. Whoever brings Abu Bakr and Muhammad, dead or alive, they will take 100 camel. And that is a fortune at that time. And it's still a fortune today. I mean, 100 camel is a lot of money. That would make somebody wealthy immediately. And then he promised 100 camels for anybody that brings Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ غَالِبٌ عَلَى أَمْرِهِ. Al-Bukhari narrates on the authority of Anas, on the authority of Abu Bakr, and the hadith is narrated on Abu Bakr. He said, كنت مع النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم في الغار. I was with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in the cave of Thawr. And those chasers, those posses after us, they started getting close to the ghar. فَرَفَعْتُ رَأْسِي فَإِذَا أَنَا بِأَقْدَامِ الْقَوْمِ. I raised my head and I saw the feet of those who are after us, right at the opening of the cave, at the door of the cave. And they said, and I said to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Ya Nabi Allah, لو أن بعضهم طأطأ بصره لرآنا. If somebody just looks right down at his feet, he will see us. We're dead. That's it. It's the swords outside. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Iskut Abu Bakr. Be quiet, Abu Bakr. اثنان الله ثالثهما. Two, and Allah is the third. ما ظنك يا أبا بكر. What do you think, يا أبا بكر? باثنين الله ثالثهما. Of two, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with us. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is commemorating this word and said, ثاني اثنين إذ هما في الغار إذ يقول لصاحبه لا تحزن إن الله معنا. Do not despair, do not be saddened. Allah is with us. And that was a miracle that nobody looked and nobody seen Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, nobody seen Abu Bakr. There is another famous story about this encounter, that there was a spider web that was weaved at the opening of that cave, and then a dove came and laid eggs right at the door, and that's what distracted the chasers, the people of Quraysh, and let them go back. These two things